Hello everyone, this is Brian from Tough Spar MMA here, just giving you all a recap on what had happened this weekend. Of course, unless you've been living underneath a rock, you would have been watching UFC 195 this weekend, which featured a welterweight title fight between Robbie Lawler, the champion, and Carlos Condit, the challenger. Carlos Condit is the former interim champion of the UFC who failed to unite the belts against George St. Pierre a few years back in 2012. In the main event, what he was looking to do was capture the title for real this time and be the new UFC champion. Now, if you've not been keeping up on all the news and all the updates, you wouldn't know that Carlos Condit has stated recently that this was potentially going to be his last few years of MMA. He revealed after the fight that he was still considering possibly retiring after the fight. He came up short against Robbie Lawler in an epic battle. If you missed it, I strongly advise that you catch the replay or catch highlights. Find some way to watch this fight. It was an excellent fight. It was very, very, very close. Went to a split decision that happened so it favored Robbie Lawler. This fight was easily debatable on who won and who lost. Initially, me being a Carlos Condit fan, I was watching it live. I saw it happen. I thought that Carlos Condit took the fight. After a second time watching it, I could potentially see why some gave it to Robbie Lawler. I say that being is when I was originally watching the fight, I gave the first round to Carlos Condit, second round to Robbie Lawler, third round to Condit, fourth round to Condit, and the fifth one was so close that I had to give it a draw. When I watched the fight the second time, first and second rounds kept my same picks, but the round that I found was the trickiest one was round 3. Round 3 was one that could go either way. I could see it going to Lawler. I could see it going to Condit. I think Lawler definitely landed the harder blows in round 3. I still think that Condit did enough to have possibly won round 3, but it could be argued that Robbie Lawler won that third round. Fourth round, keep it the same way. Robbie Lawler losing that one to Condit. And then fifth round, toss-up. Still a very, very debatable round, but you could potentially give that to Robbie Lawler. So with the two times I've watched it, first time I watched it, gave it to Condit. Second time, I see it as potentially a draw, potentially going to Robbie Lawler. I may end up watching this a third time, and if I do, I will certainly update you all and let you know what I've discovered. But overall, great pay-per-view. The undercard was pretty amazing as well. We saw Stipe Miocic come out and dismantle Andrei Arlovski, who I absolutely love, and I had him winning the fight. But Stipe Miocic proved why he is a top contender by going out and knocking out Arlovski in round 1. And you see one of the most exciting moments of the night when Stipe Miocic runs over to the cage, looking directly at Dana White saying, "Give me my title shot." That is a title shot in which he believes he has earned, and I believe many of the fans believe that he has earned as well. And what I hope to see is Cain Velasquez regain his title against Fabricio Werdum, so then we can see Cain Velasquez versus Stipe Miocic. Don't get me wrong, I think Werdum versus Miocic would be a great fight as well, but I just see Werdum winning that one easily. I do apologize to all the Stipe fans, that's just how I feel. With Cain Velasquez, who is, if you don't know me, one of my most favorite fighters ever in MMA, one of my most favorite fighters in combat sports, period, one of my most favorite athletes in general. Cain Velasquez is an animal, but what I see in Stipe Miocic is very, very similar attributes to Cain Velasquez. Great wrestling, great athleticism, very, very quick for a heavyweight. He has knockout abilities. Overall, a great future fight. Also, we saw Brian Ortega versus Diego Brandao. That was an entertaining fight in which, I thought that Brandao was going to potentially come out with the win. I thought he won the first round, thought he won the second round, but then Brian Ortega submitted him via triangle in the last round. I thought this was going to be Diego Brandau's moment to come back to possibly being a top contender and a threat in the featherweight division, but it just was not his night. We had two other fights. Let me see. We had Abel Trujillo squaring up against Tony Sims. I believed that Abel Trujillo was winning the fight until he got submitted. It would have been a nice victory for him, possibly move him up the ranks in that division. But Tony Sims just came out with a win. Also, we had Albert Tomanov against Lorenz Larkin. That was an entertaining fight. It was the stand-up boxer versus the kickboxer in that particular fight, and it ended up going the way of the Russian. Lorenz Larkin, he did some amazing stuff. We saw him doing his classic kicks. Lots and lots and lots of leg kicks landed in that fight. He even pulled some spinning back kicks to the thighs and to the knee from the southpaw position, but it just was not enough. Tomanov's hands were just too much. He ended up getting that decision. I felt he got the decision. It could be argued that Lorenz Larkin got that win, but I still stand by them giving it to Tomanov. Overall, great performance. The night as a whole was great. Dustin Poirier got a victory in the Fight Pass prelims. Also, Michael McDonald came back, got a submission win, got a Performance of the Night award. If you didn't watch the pay-per-view, my rating on it, I'd probably give it about 8.5 out of 10 stars. Excellent fight card. Good way to start out the year. By God, make sure you get it. Make sure you watch it somehow if you don't watch it online or if you don't order the replay. Get the DVD when it's released. Round 5 of Lawler versus Condit was an absolute slugfest. That was the round that probably would have decided the winner of the fight. And Robbie Lawler came out. He knew that he needed to win. He needed to win that round, and he and Carlos Condit did a supernatural job fighting in that 5th round. I'll just say the way that the fight ended, both men leaning up against the cage trying to catch their breath. It was an all-out sprint. So be sure to catch it. That's all I've really got for that fight. If you have any questions for me at all, feel free to send us an email at toughsparmma@gmail.com. Either myself or Cameron, my blog partner, will respond to you all. Or leave a comment down at the bottom. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, our Google Plus page. Check out the blog. There's even an Android app available on Google Play. So check out all of those items and be sure to communicate with us. We love hearing from you all. We like to do polls. We like doing, questions and posting everything to Facebook, posting everything to Google Plus. If you've got any suggestions for us, let us know. If not, it has been a pleasure talking about this event with you all, and we look forward to your continued support